Okay, we're going to look at the law of sines. So we have a triangle, and we have A, B, and C. And we said that opposite big A, we have little a, and opposite big C, little c, and opposite big B, we have little b. Now, in a triangle, ABC, that we can say that A, B, and C are opposite big A, big B, and big C. So we can use the sine of the angle A divided by the opposite side, and this is equivalent to sine of B divided by B and sine of C divided by C. So we can use this formula to find a missing side. Now this only works if we have an angle side or angle side angle or side side angle. So we'll have a look what this means. So let's have an example. So in this triangle we have an angle, and a side next to each other, which is this angle, side. So we're going to use this to see how we can find what we need. So let's label, so we've got little b, little a, and little c. So in a triangle we know that the angles add up to 180. So a plus b plus c is 180 degrees. And here we don't know a, so this is going to be 180 minus 80, and 45 is 125. So angle A must be 55 degrees. So we have got 55 degrees. Now we've got one side and we've got all the angles we need. So we're going to see what we can do. Okay, so let's have a look. Sine of A. So if we use this formula here, sine of A over little a. So we know the angle, we don't know the side. And then we need to use something that we know, the side and the angle. So C, we know the side and the angle, so we can use the sine of C divided by C. And we're going to substitute in the values we know. So sine of A is 55, little a we don't know. Sine of C, this is sine of 80, and this is divided by 3. So if we cross multiply and rearrange our formula, we will have 3 times sine 55 is equal to A sine 80. And then if we divide by sine 80, we'll have A is equal to, and if we put this in our calculator, so we've got, so we have 2.495, which would be, so let's write that, 2.495. So A is approximately 2.5. So we know that now. This is 2.5. We're going to see what else we can find. So to find length B, we can use the sine of B over B is equal to the sine of C over C, and we can substitute in the values. So the sine of B would be the sine of 45 divided by B, and we know the sine of 80 and we know 3. So if we cross multiply, 3 multiplied by the sine of 45 is B sine 80, and we can divide both sides by sine 80. So B is equal to, in our calculator, okay, so in our calculator that comes up with 2.154, and if I round that, that is approximately 2.2. So we found that the missing angle so the angle we said at A was 55 degrees. We said the side of A was 2.5, and we said the side B was 2.2. Okay, so guided practice. Solve triangle NPQ if P is 42 degrees, Q is 65 degrees, and little n is 5. So let's draw this triangle. So if we say this is P and this is 42 degrees, and we have Q, and we'll call this 65 degrees, and we've got, this must be N because it's NPQ. So this is little n and this is 5. So let's have a look. This time we have angle, side, angle. So we can find the missing angle. Because in a triangle we know that P and N and Q equals 180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 107 is equal to 73 degrees. So we know that N is 73 degrees. So we can use this now to find the lengths we need. So first of all, little q and little p. So we'll find length P, side P. So to do that, we want the sine of big N divided by little n, and that is going to be equal to the sine of big P divided by little p. So if we substitute in what we know, so the sine N, so this is the sine of 73 degrees, is divided by 5. The sine of P is 42 degrees, and that is divided by little p, which we don't know. So we're going to cross multiply. So P sine 73 degrees is equal to, and that's a 5. Doesn't look like a 5. Let's make sure it does. So 5 sine 42 degrees. And we're going to divide both sides by 73. These will simplify. So P is going to be 5 multiplied by sine 42 divided by sine 73. So in our calculator, so P is equal to 3.498, which is approximately 3.5. So now to move on to find length Q. So what do we know? So the sine of big Q divided by little q is equal to, and the sine of big N divided by little n, substitute in what we know. So we have sine of 65 degrees divided by little q is the sine of 73 degrees divided by 5. And I need to cross multiply. So 5 multiplied by sine 65 is q multiplied by sine 73. And if I divide both sides by sine 73, this simplifies. So q is equal to 5 sine 65 divided by sine 73. Just put that in the calculator. So in the calculator, just write it the other way around. Q is equal to 4.738, which is approximately 4.7. So we have found out. So the angle N, 73 degrees. The length of P is 3.5, and the length of the side Q is 4.7. So this triangle, there's two sides and an angle that we know. So we have 9, so little r is 9, and little s is 6, and we know that big R is 105. So we're going to use big R, so we can find the sine of big R divided by little r, and we can find angle S first. So we've got the sine of the angle is equal to S. So that's over sine of angle S. Sorry, that should be the sine of S. Is over S. So if we substitute in the values that we know, we have got the sine of 105 divided by 9 is the sine of, and we don't know, so I'll just say it's theta for a minute. So sine of theta divided by 6. So we're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to have, or not cross multiply, just going to multiply by 6. So if I multiply both sides by 6, this will simplify. And this is what I'll have. So 6 sine 105 divided by 9. And I'm just going to put that in my calculator. So we're going to put sine to the minus 1 of 0.6439 is equal to our angle. So our angle, we said theta, which is S. So we can say angle S is going to be 40.08, which is 40 degrees. So now we're going to look at angle T. So the sine of T over little t is equal to, and we'll use the sine of r over little r. Now we don't know, we need one of the angles or the sides to work out the sine of t. So we need to find the angle. So because we know that S is now 40, we can say to find angle T, this is going to be 180 minus 40 plus 105 is 145. So we know that T is 35 degrees. So we can say that this is 35 and this is 40 because they all add up to 180. So the sine of 35 degrees divided by t will be the sine of r, which is 105, divided by the side, which is 9. So now I'm going to cross multiply. So I will have, so here t sine 105 is equal to 9 multiplied by sine 35. And I need to divide both sides by sine 105. So this will simplify. Oops, don't need that. So let's put that into the calculator. So that works out, I'm going to write it the other way around. T is equal to 5.344. So side T is approximately 5.3. So we found angle T is 35 degrees, angle S is 40 degrees, and we found that the side length T is 5.3. I should say length of T is 5.3. And there's the answer.